So I've watched Dune Part 2. Yes, it was finally released today, technically in the UK. You could watch it at midnight. So midnight yesterday, technically today, whatever. So I've watched it. This will be my non-spoiler review. I appreciate it's a book and I appreciate it's an adaptation. I appreciate that some people will go, well, you can't spoil it because I get it. But I'm going to talk as non-spoilers as possible. This movie was excellent. It was better in every single way than the first, and I liked the first. But this is excellent. It's an excellent movie. It's quite long. It's like 2 hours, 40 odd minutes. Don't really feel it too much, quite frankly. So the pacing works quite a lot. Like I said, and I'm going to hammer this home, it is better in every single way than the previous one. It is better in every single way. You wanted action? You get action. You want drama? You get drama. You want even more special effects and they're really good? You get more special effects and they're really good. You want good music? You get good music. It is genuinely better in every single way. In fact, funnily enough, the music aspect was something which I noticed so very much. I was not a huge fan of the first one's music. I know it's going to be blasphemy to hear for some people. Shush. This one was exceptional. This was the kind of score that I wanted in the first one. It was a character unto itself. You know, it wasn't intrusive. It didn't just blend into the background. It became a character. It raised my spirits when I needed them raised with the characters. It lowered them to somber sort of spirits when the people were somber. It was great. It was really, really good. So, I mean, I think to address a few things, and it is non-spoilers, because this is an adaptation of the book, Dune, right? It's an adaptation of a book. Do they round it out nicely, or does it leave on a cliffhanger? Because Denis Villeneuve's been discussing things quite a lot about making Dune Messiah. They leave this where it could just be it. Could just be it. Definitely left where they could 100% make more, and I think people will 100% want more. Absolutely unequivocally they're going to want more, but they do leave it in a way that you could finish it. You could finish it as it is. The visual effects are absolutely exceptional. Timothée Chalamet, good actor. I was going to say holy cow, but genuinely great actor. Great actor, actually. Someone which I didn't really particularly care for, to be perfectly honest. I know he's a good actor. He's been good in things. But I didn't care for him as Paul Atreides. But he came into his own with this. And you know what? That's probably us judging it a little bit too harshly. But also the way and format they chose to release it. Because, of course, they chose to split the first book into two halves. So the first half is this young, meek guy. He's not fully become Muad'Dib. So, I think it's a lot of prejudging before the second half of the story came out, as well as just them doing that format in general. And also how it is supposed to be. But he was great in this. The power, the resonance that he gives off. Great performance. Fully bought into it. Fully bought into his conviction. Loved it. Zendaya. She's fine as Chani. Like, she is just fine. She's not bad. But you could genuinely swap her out for someone else. And I think it would be about the same performance. I think with Timothée Chalamet, and also Rebecca Ferguson as well, for instance, these individuals are very difficult to swap out and envisage someone else in the roles. Javier Bardem was... Yeah, it was Javier Bardem. Absolutely incredible. I'm thinking if getting the names right off the top of my head. But Javier Bardem was great. He was really, really, really good as Stilgar. Absolutely exceptional. Of course, you've seen the trailers. Josh Brolin comes back. He was great. Really, really, really good. Fully bought in as, Gurney. Austin Butler as Fade Rotha Harkonnen was really good. I didn't care much for his casting. I was like, interesting. Let's see how it comes out. But yeah, he's great. He's a great actor. And I know people that have seen him in other things will probably be like, yeah, of course he is. But I had not seen him in, you know, the critically acclaimed Elvis or whatever. So he was really, really good. Dave Bautista was great. He is a bit of a shouty boy, but that is what his character does. Rabban. Skarsgård, great as the Baron Harkonnen. You know, he puts in quite a lot. I mean, it must be very difficult to do a lot of emoting under that prosthetics that he's got on, because he does have a lot of prosthetics, but that was great. The whole Harkonnen evil, the Black Sun, how they laid out their massive Colosseum, and that whole society was disgusting, but great, because that's what it's supposed to be. It was really, really good. That was brilliant. The Emperor, played by Christopher Walken himself, good, actually, good. Along with Florence Pugh, good. Not wholly memorable, but good. How they structured the story, the visual effects along with it, was just exceptional. You know? And it's such a shame that Denis Villeneuve made these weird comments about dialogue. He doesn't care about dialogue, because the dialogue in this was great. And it was really, really good. So very bizarre that he gave these comments. Honestly, I watched this on an IMAX screen. It's not the biggest screen possible. Paid for the ticket, whatever. And the visual effects are great. They're seamless. And I'm always reminded, why on earth do other studios not get it right? How on earth do they not get it right? It just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. The visual effects are genuinely seamless. I really like the design choices of all of these things. I think they nailed the design choices. The design choices are truly exceptional. Truly exceptional. There were some things which they didn't put in it, which I think will annoy a few people. But I don't know whether it would annoy enough people for it to be a massive problem. I think this movie will make bank. I think this movie will be carried on word of mouth. Now, I could be wrong, obviously. Ultimately, I could be wrong. But I think it's such a strong movie and will leave people... It ends in such a fantastic way that I think it will leave people really talking about it quite a lot, actually. I think everyone will be talking about this film for some time. So I think it will be carried on its word of mouth as well as opening weekend. I think opening weekend... the expectation was $170 million worldwide. I think it'll do $200 million. My cinema was pretty packed. I know other theatres are pretty packed. It's a great film. It's a solid film. If you didn't like the first one, or you liked it but you had problems with it, I genuinely think you'll enjoy this. If you've watched the first one, whether you liked it or not, I do think you should give this one a go. Genuinely, and I don't just say that. Like, I'm very harsh on films. But because this is exceptional and better in every single way than the first, I think even if you didn't like the first, but you watched it all the way through, this is well worth a try. Because I think you may be persuaded to enjoy it. I think you will like it, basically. Yeah, I mean, without going into huge detail on bits and pieces, I can't say much more. The cinematography was great. The visual effects are unbelievable. The speeches, rousing. The locations. My God, the locations. Everything that they did to make this film is great. I cannot critique it. There is no criticism, really, aside from some actors you could swap out because they weren't hugely charismatic. Not necessarily their fault. Sometimes it's the script, sometimes it's the direction, and subtle things that they left out here and there. But this was a great film. Strong recommendation. I think this will go down as one of the greatest sci-fis of all time. Yeah, I think this will go down as one of the greatest sci-fis of all time. 100% it will. I'll be surprised if it doesn't. I think 10 years from now, this will be still spoken about because of essentially being a cinematic masterpiece. So if you've seen it, what did you think? Take care.